session is having, I think, 2 CP, so many of our professionals will get the benefit out of this session. And I will share my PPT, but it is mainly related to my working experience during the 3 decades of my career in as a professional in any of manufacturing industry, and more particularly in the power industries. So I will also wish all of you a happy Navratri, and let us start our session. So just I will initially share my PPT, and then it's a very small PPT, but it will help us to take the session in a very structured way. So wait for a few minutes. I'm just sharing PPT and then we'll start the session. Okay. I think that will be okay for all of us. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just a minute. Three is there a haircut? फोटो के साथ में अंदर कर रहा है फोटो Hello. Is PPT visible?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's start. Here I would just like to give my introduction. Like I am a CMA of 1992 batch. I cleared my all group in first attempt, and thereafter simultaneously I had taken a Master in Commerce degree from MS University. I started my career immediately after become a CMA. And since during that time we didn't have any practical training, mandatory practical training requirement, so as a fresh CMA I faced a challenge while getting any good employment opportunity. So I joined SB Parikh and Company. It's a practicing cost accountant firm, and having very good exposure. And I think he was our chairman, and I think WIRC chairman, or maybe it's a central council member also, but right now I didn't recollect. But he was a very renowned person in our CMA fraternity. And I started my career as a trainee cost accountant with him. And during that tenure of 6 to 8 months, I gained a good exposure about the cost audit procedure, and the practices, what are the things which we required as a auditor, cost auditor, and how to maintain the cost record, and many practical experience that has helped me to get break through my career opportunity. Okay, so after getting 6 to 8 months of experience with our cost accountant fraternity, practicing cost accountant, I got an opportunity to work with the chemical sector. So during this, my initial year of journey, I learned one thing which is very important for almost all of our CMA fraternity. Like whenever you enter into any organization, people have lot of expectation from us. Like they feel as a CMA, we have like rich experience, expertise. Being a professional, they expect lot many things, and at the same times, uh, they always, like everywhere, the resource crisis are there. So sometimes it happens they try to load us with various opportunity, various departmental or organizational requirements. So in my initial year, it was a small chemical industry, and I joined as a assistant account officer. Thereafter they gave me the charge of purchase department also. But since it was a challenging task and I was very new to our profession as well as organization, so I accepted whatever the additional, even inventory management also. So I accepted every additional assignment in a as a challenging uh, task or challenging uh, opportunity, and try to prove myself during my initial career. So going forward, it has helped me a lot, because since that was the new and small organization, I got a good exposure from the raw material accounting to the finished goods accounting, as well as the whole procedure, like how the procurement is taking place, how we are keeping or taking care of inventory management, then overall, like inventory balancing, like optimization of inventory, as well as the financial function related to our core field is always there. So that the initial 2 years of my hard work has given me a very good breakthrough. And thereafter, in the year 1995, I got an opportunity to join Gujarat Industries Power Company Limited as a officer finance. So in this company, since it is a state PSU, we have various procedure and the different system, like to work and to follow the procedure, and to manage the thing, like in any of it is just like a big organization, so we have to follow the policy, procedure, and everything. But I can say, like initially, since as a fresh CMA, we didn't have any practical exposure. But my initial 2 years of working with a small organization has given me a very rich experience. And this is my suggestion and my own experience and guidance to all of our fresh CMA, or the person who would like to take any opportunity or like to work with any organization. They should be always open with the environment, like open with the organizational requirement. Sometimes it happen, like we can we feel that this area is not related to my professional knowledge or my field. but it's not necessary like every time you get the job or assignment based on your own own professional as well as technical expertise. Sometimes it is a need of the day, it is a need of the organization, like try they find some people who can own more responsibility, who can work and try to prove themselves in a versatile way. So initial career, whenever you start, this is my experience during the beginning of my career, like okay, whenever you start your career, you should not limit yourself with any restriction. Okay, so always work or start your career with the open minded. Now the things are totally changed. I am talking about the way back, like 2 3 decades, 2.5 decades or 3 decades ago. Like the at that time also we were, or actually personally I was very different means attitude, like I am always eager to learn something new in my life, and that is why I never think of whether this is my work or this is my the assignment was allotted to my colleague. I'm always ready to take the other assignment or always ready to facilitate my colleague also. Many times it happened like in PSUs or big organization, they always try to allocate a small section of the work. Okay, so if you restrict yourself with that limited sector section, then you will not progress, or you will not perform or get the thorough knowledge about whole even of our core field like finance, costing or whatever. Because big organization, there is a various section and every officer is responsible for that section. When I joined this organization, we were working 5 6 officer. Okay, and many of my competitor or many of my colleague, they were chartered accountant and I was cost accountant, and one or two of my colleague were also cost accountant. So all we have almost equal ratios of chartered accountant and cost accountant. Okay, so depending on our expertise, we were assigned the specific job. So when I joined this company, at that time we had a various project, upcoming project, and the project evaluation, financing, then order allotment, all these things we were doing in house, and under the guidance of my senior as well as CFO. So I personally say, like being a CMA, we have some analytical nature, analytical knowledge and thinking. We always think prospective, and because of that we are in a better place as compared to our competitors. Sometimes when the things something related to the decision making, or to think futuristic with respect to the cost optimization or with respect to the cost competitiveness, if this kind of situations are there, we are in a better position. Okay, so I got that opportunity, or I got that advantage during my initial or young stage. At that time we had a different project, and so I was involved in project financing, project evaluation, even to finalize the project contract, because like we have a competitive bidding, and during the bidding we keep on uploading, we keep on evaluating the bidder with various like all kind of techno commercial terms and condition, giving equivalent loading with respect to each and every terms, how it affects the company's future business perspective while dealing with that contractor. And as a power sector, I can say like it is a very capital intensive project. Each project is always in 1,000 or above, in crores, thousands of crore and above. Okay, suppose if I want to implement 200 megawatt power project, then it would have like a project cost around 1,500 CR plus. On an average, like 8 to 10 CR is per megawatt cost, capital cost. So you can end it, the time gestation period is also almost around 4 to 6 years. So it is a massive project, and where the finance play a very crucial role from the beginning itself. Like when we are finalizing the tender, when we are finalizing the contractor or EPC contractor, I can say, those who are doing whole commissioning work, all terms and conditions, then proper monitoring of that project with respect to the financing plan, financing outgo. It makes a lot of like challenging job for CMA fraternity as well as any finance professional. Suppose if we have a CA or other professional, MBA finance, those who are with us. But it is a very challenging task, and we keep on monitoring everything. And now the situation is almost different. But this I am talking about my initial career perspective. So during that time, like I can say, because of my dedication, because of my involvement, and since I'm eager to work extra for the organization as well as for myself, I I had proven myself like I am deserving candidate for that position as well as for my future upliftment also. So this is my uh, takeaway, or this is my suggestion to the young CMA fraternity or the person who are working with organization. Like one should always ready to accept the challenge, and never limit yourself for any specific area or domain which is assigned to you. You should show your willingness to take up more opportunity, take up more assignment, and which always, like any of your senior, whenever you are working, if you yourself is interested to take more assignment, your senior or your superior, they are always accept your they are always give respect to your willingness, and they will assign you. So that scenario will be there in most of the organization. It is up to the individual how they are try to avail that situation, how they are try to engage that opportunity. And while working in a corporate, one should have the good patience and their involvement, knowledge, experience, and then integrity and loyalty, and all these things are together to progress in the same organization. Okay. So here I would like to share my journey with my current organization. I joined this company in the year 1995, and today still I am working there. So I'm not suggesting anyone like you have to spend whole your life with one organization. But yes, if you are a female and you have various other responsibility in your life, because we have to manage with the work life balance. Okay, because at the same time, like it's not only our professional career which is sufficient for our survival. Okay, we need to take care of our family. Suppose if we have a children, then we definitely need to give the equal importance or even more importance to our children upbringingness. So while considering all other areas or the things which we need to be balanced in our life, I can very well say like this, my whole 30 years of journey is extremely good. And if as a female professional, if you get any opportunity with any state PSU, government PSU, then their work culture is like that we are able to manage both. Like it's very easy to manage your work life balance nowadays. Like almost all PSUs or state PSU, they are also target oriented. They also have, and even those who are working at executive cadre, they are definitely under tremendous pressure. But at the same time, since our Indian government, like after Modi ji, we have this various woman empowerment related decision. He has taken a various decision which is very much well in the favor of our female professional, like I can say like maternity leave, paternity leave, or many other paternity leave and many other things. So these are very welcoming steps by the government of India. And it has recently come, I think I can say around 5 or 7 years ago. Earlier we have, actually I personally say like those who are of my age, they have suffered a lot, because it's very difficult to manage the whole show when you are very young, because at that time your career always expect something extraordinary contribution from your side. At the same time, when you are young, your family is also having the equivalent expectation. And if you have any kids, and when they are very young and in their growing stage, we need to give some good time or quality time to our children also. So means I can say, whenever I recollect my young age, or if I today also, if I uh, go back to my young age or initial year of my career, I feel very nostalgic, like how I have managed. And sometimes like it was because of state PSU, or because I was working with the PSU, I can say like the thing was manageable, but not of that comfort level. Like when you spend, and since it is a manufacturing entity, I need to spend, like we have a office time around 9 to 5:30 is my official time, and I need to reach before 9. I used to leave around after 5:30 or 6. So that was like very long office hour, and I was very away from my home. So we need to have the good support systems to manage everything. And then our focus should be whenever, and that is one thing I can suggest all my CMA fraternity, and basically those who are female, like whenever you are at workplace, you should give maximum focus to your professional work which you have been assigned. Sometimes I have seen like many female, those who are working under me, they give me more focus to their personal or their family situation. Whenever something happens, like as a person, as a emotional or human being, definitely if something has happened to my home, it is definitely going to affect me. But then I have to learn or cultivate some kind of that uh, quality or attitude, like I can balance both the things. Whenever you leave your home, try to keep everything which is related to your every difficulty, every situation which is related to your home at your home only. And whenever, and once you reach to the office, you should focus on your desk, you should focus on the job assigned to yes to you. Otherwise, nobody is there who is like in professional life, nobody is like to share your personal constraint. Okay, in today's era, or as well as I can say, when I was young, like I was the only female in my organization who were working as an officer. Okay, and almost everyone, whether it is in my department or other department, they were male employees. So nobody is ready to, or nobody even imagine like which kind of situation I am facing. Suppose if even my children are, sometimes they are suffering with any health issues or any kind of difficulty, nobody there to understand my situation. So I had gone through such kind of period also. But since I have a good family support and I was mentally prepared, like many time my colleague, they always compare like there is no gender bias, or you wish gender equality at every place. So why to have this kind of privilege or differentiation at workplace? Since we all are drawing the equal salary, so our responsibilities should be similar. That kind of situation I have faced during my initial year of the career. So even I worked in night shift also when I was young, and at that time we need to make the salary payment in cash. Okay, so for cash distribution also I reached to my workplace in night shift, do all this disbursement, and then come back at home around 12 o'clock. Even like when we need to fill up the cash salary or cover, I have to stay back with my all male colleague, okay, because they don't allow me, or they don't consider me as a, they don't want to give any kind of privilege being a female, like I have to reach home at timely and xyz. So why I am telling about all this my story, like, because whenever you work with any organization, whether it is a state PSU or private sector, the person who give you employment, they only treat you as an employee of that company. Okay, they never considered you as something different. So, and as our topic is something related to the Navratri, Now Durga, and woman empowerment, woman as a Shakti. So why I am revealing everything with respect to my initial year or initial career struggle, is like every female, if you are working, whether even if you are in practice also, then also you need to give the equal justice to your work. Okay, and when you are trying to give justice to your work, definitely you have to compromise somewhere. Okay, but I personally say, like, every stage of our life is a learning process, and during this stage I personally feel like I learn a lot how to manage, how to administer, like, our work life balance, how to I can say, like, this initial struggle made me a good administrator. Like, I can manage my home, or I can balance my time very effectively for my office work as well as my home, anything related to my home, and effectively, like, how to devote the time, quality time with my children, how to monitor their educational as well as all-round development. So the things I can say, it's not very easy. It needs a huge insight, or strong determination, and commitment towards the your own progress, as well as to your family also. And for doing everything, I can say, like, you need the support from all around, whether it is your if you are at workplace, you definitely need a good support system or support from your colleague, where our attitude, behavior play a equal important role, and play an important role, as well as, yeah, if you are fortunate enough and you have a very supportive family members, that also that will also help to overcome all these difficulties, and our life will become very smooth. But challenges is always there, and one has to, as a female professional, you have to keep everything in mind while you are progressing in your professional front, as well as managing your family life. So in my case, or even as on date also in my organization, we are only two female officer. I am working as a general manager, legal and finance, and one of my colleagues, she was working as a DGM Finance. Okay, she recently joined, and we have a 3-4 engineer also who work with GIPCL for around more than a decades. So slowly we started giving opportunity to the female candidate even in our plant and project work also, but because of that remote location, female are not that much interested to join GIPCL. But at the same time, like our managing director is IAS, so she is she is giving more preference to the female, and that is resulting into little bit more recruitment of female employee, but still the number is only around 5 to 7 in whole, considering whole GIPCL. So still there is a man-woman ratio is very like uncommon as compared to the other industries, and there may be a reason, like because it is a company which is having the existence in various remote area, as well as it's a more of a technical field where male employees more interested as compared to the female employees. So this may be the reason, but nonetheless, those who are working with GIPCL, they are quite enjoying the journey, and I am one of them. So over a period of 3 decades, I enjoyed, and I am happy and satisfied where I reached. Okay, so this is overall. I just try to give a brief about my journey with GIPCL. Okay, and what are the challenges we as a female CMA normally face when we are working with the organization, whether it is a private or public sector. But public sector is to some extent like we have some steady growth, and work pressure is to some extent manageable. So at the fag end of my career, I can say like I am a satisfied career journey with GIPCL. I never face any kind of discrimination with respect to other professional fraternity like CS vis-a-vis CMA. I always get a equal opportunity, equal chances, equal respect with. So I personally feel as a CMA, we can prove ourselves, we can reach to any level if we are really determined, and if we are goal oriented, if we have increased our vision and we try to align ourselves with the changes taken place in our ecosystem or in our this in our governments, in our fraternity, or in our finance and economics environment. Okay, so one has to update their knowledge if they really want to progress in the life or in the professional career, because there is no substitute of gaining knowledge or proving yourself. Every day of our life demands something new, and nowadays the things are very changing very fast, very sharp. So one has to be very alert with respect to all rules, regulation, new amendment in the act, GST, everything. Like I personally say, earlier there were the Income Tax Act 1961, now new Income Tax Act has taken place. Earlier Companies Act 1956 was there, now 2013 is there. So every stage of life we need to align with the changes taken place. And if we align ourselves with this change in environment, we can very well definitely place ourselves in a very comfortable position, and that will definitely help us to progress in our professional life. So here actually in nutshell, I would like to say, like, success is not from where we start, but it is how far we are willing to go. Okay, so if you are really determined to climb in your career, and if you have a very high vision or ambition, then you will definitely try to overcome all the barriers of your life, and uh, you can try and you will definitely reach to that destination. So I personally feel one should not take an excuse of any situation. Situation is always tough or difficult in our life, so we should try to enjoy that situation. We should try to think how to overcome these barriers and progress in our life, because every stage of life, if you always think for the comfort zone, so then you cannot reach to the any means you cannot reach to the next stage. So here actually mera matlab what I mean to say, like every stage of life is giving us a learning opportunity, and as a professional हमें always वो फोकस करना चाहिए कि भाई जो अपॉर्चुनिटी आई है उसमें मुझे कितना अपने आप को इन्वॉल्व करना है, एंड whatever best possible that knowledge we should try to acquire and then implement in our day-to-day affairs, and even for developing our subordinate and giving our input to the seniors or to the decision makers, so that they can realize our importance in their journey also. So my simple submission or guidance to all our young CMA professional is that, like, try to update yourself with whatever happening in our surrounding or in our economic forum. Okay, because since our profession is related to the finance, economics, or business decision making, so your update with the recent scenario or recent happening will definitely help the organization. So this is my submission or guidance to all our young generation. Try to update yourself with the recent happening in our life, in our surrounding. Okay, and in addition to that, actually I personally want also, like, this is my personal belief is that, okay, if you are having any kind of knowledge or any anything like given by our institute or even our society, we should try to revert or try to give back something to the society. So in my professional or personal life, I have not restricted myself to the only our professional assignment. I have engaged myself to the various other organization, or I try to serve with various other organization even on an honorary basis also, so that at least whatever the knowledge, whatever the experience I have, I try to give the benefit to the society at large. So I'm staying in one registered cooperative housing society. So I try to work there from about last 1 decade as a treasurer. I'm working with the Baroda chapter of cost accountant as a committee members for last 6 to 8 years. I try to share my knowledge, my experience with, like, highly uneducated or underprivileged people, to help them to do some financial guidance, to open their bank account or XYZ. So my another submission to our CMA fraternity is that if God has given us this opportunity or make us in such a and put us in such a position where we can share our knowledge, our experience to upbring others' life, we should always try to do that and make the other's life is also quite happy and comfortable to the extent possible. So these are all something with respect to my own experience and my own values, which I want to share with you people. Okay. So my core belief is that like education plus strong values will be the true foundation for any success. Okay, education is the one thing, but along with the education, if you have certain values in your life, like in my case, I try to give something beyond what I have in my curriculum. Hello, hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So actually, I
You can
got
proceed,
a
you can
message.
proceed.
Huh?
You can proceed, madam. Audible, madam.
Okay, okay, thank you. Just a minute. So now my this slide is visible.
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
madam.
Okay, okay. So actually, just till now, I just wanted to share my personal experience, like on what my personal and professional values, as well as my working style, which has helped me to reach up to this position. And fortunately, like whenever I look behind my whole career process, as I think, as I mentioned, like I am 92 pass out, and today it is 2025. Okay, so almost 33 years of my professional career. I personally feel I am very happy, satisfied with respect to my professional progress as well as my personal front also. And I never have any kind of guilt with respect to while balancing the personal and professional life, and mainly because, as we mentioned, like it is because of that public sector entity, as well as my own style of working or managing the things. And I have tried to learn maximum from my professional and personal life, as well as the crisis challenges which has happened during the phase of my professional journey. So now I just wanted to tell something with respect to our professional journey, since I spent almost around 30 plus year in this organization. So here, every stage of your life, whenever you join anywhere, it has some challenges, some working exposure like it required. So when we start our journey as a young professional, at that time, like there are various things which we have to develop, we have to understand, we try to get exposure of that areas. So as a young CMAs, we didn't have that much knowledge or expertise. We have only theoretical knowledge. Okay. So whenever you start working with any organization, at that time, first of all, we need to understand what is the system and process of that organization, what is the core values of that organization on which the whole system is developed, and we try to accommodate ourselves with respect to the system and process of that organization, and slowly we try to give our input which will definitely help the organization going forward. Okay, so the first 5 or 10 years of our career, if you are working in any single organization, suppose if you keep on moving or jumping from one organization to another, then the situation is different. But this I am telling because I worked with single organization for around 3 decades. So initial 5 to 10 years of my career, or any of our employee who start their career in the state PSU, they try to manage the work assigned to them. Then simultaneously they try to give their input, so that will help to function, to make our function smooth, because the initial career will help to understand how the system, how the process is working. Suppose if today I want to take any decision at this level, but if I have not done anything practically, it is difficult for me to visualize what is the problem of which my entry level officers are facing, or how to resolve or understand their constraint, their even their suggestion also. But since I worked on grassroots level, so I can very well understand their situation. They, even if they could not or would not communicate properly, then also with the help of their input, I can understand like what he or she want to convey. So like initial 5 to 10 years of our career, if we try to involve ourselves in almost all activity of the organization, whether it is related to finance, costing, insurance, accounting, audit, whatever it may be, if we try to involve each and every aspect of our uh, professional field, then that will definitely help when we are progressing further. So initial 10 years, I can say, initial 10 year, I can say it is a foundation of our professional career. Hello. So here I would just say like a first 10 year is like a foundation of our career. Like it is like we can very well equivalent that to the foundation of any building. Like our professional career or professional journey is totally dependent on how our strong foundation is. So if in our initial year, if I try to give maximum time or try to understand maximum for each and every areas and field related to our profession, that will definitely help while going forward. Initial year we didn't realize or recognize like how important my role is. At that time we feel we are doing some stereotype job, but going forward, when we reach to the middle level where we need to give some input for managerial decision making, or we need to handle or tackle with the various kind of auditors and various compliances related to our statutory data as well as the compliance related to the annual reports or SEBI reports, and many times like we need to compile various data for preparing our annual reports. At that time, we'll understand like how important my role was when I was a young or junior professional of this organization. So when one should not feel neglected or bored while doing one kind of similar repeated work through throughout the year or in very initial various year. Like I can say in PSU it is not easy to get every now and then the change of work. Okay, many times whatever the area they assigned, one need to work for that area for a period of 1 or 2 years. So it is our interpersonal relationship with our colleague. We'll come to know like what are the other field which is associated to our profession, and how we try to get the good exposure while working with our professional colleague. Okay, so interpersonal relationship is also equally important, but at the same time, if you are really dynamic, you are willing to take more opportunity, then you'll definitely get that chance. The thing is that whenever you get any kind of such task or such assignment or such opportunity, never say no, like I am loaded, I don't want to take more responsibility. Because like in PSU there is no motivation or there is no recognition for your extra work or for your extra input. Okay, or extra completion of assignment. This is your own self, this is for your own self motivation. You keep on investing your time, you keep on hunting for something new to learn. Okay, there is very less motivational factors available in PSU to take more responsibility or to take more assignment. So it is depending on the individual, like how you want to involve yourself while uh, having your vision to progress in the PSU. Okay, so these are some of the disadvantages of PSU. There is in PSU, most of the employee is having the fixed salary structure. Nowadays, they introduce the KPI parameters where your performance based some incentive is there, but that is also for namesake. It doesn't give that much impact on your contribution. Okay, so these are some of the disadvantages while working with the PSU. But I can say, like, if I am determined to progress in my career, so my inner conscious or my inner willingness is always there to understand what are the other fields available in the organization. Okay, and since we keep on pursuing with our senior, they will definitely involve us for other area also. So it will take time. It is not so easy. Today I wish I love, let us try in audit, so you'll get the chance to work in audit. It's not like that. Today you feel like insurance is a very interesting subject, let us work for the insurance area. That is not possible in PSU. Okay, so in PSU, every people has their assigned task. But yes, if you are really interested, you keep on pursuing. One fine day, you will definitely get a chance to work in that area. And if you have proved yourself while working in that area, it will definitely help you to help you to progress in your professional career, and you will get recognized based on your this different quality. Okay, so these are some pros and cons while working with the PSU sector. But nonetheless, like whatever, as I mentioned, like stage one, during the first decade of our careers, we try to understand the almost all fundamental things related to our finance, account, costing, auditing, inventory valuation, even project financing, dealing with the banks. These all are the area where if we involve ourselves, we try to get into the depth of each and every core field. This will definitely help you to progress in your life. When I started my career as an officer finance, I got an initial opportunity for the project evaluation. Then after execution of project, my role was to process the simple all supplier invoice, making payment up to the bank level. Then I got an opportunity to prepare the budget and costing record for our newly commissioned project. That has helped me a lot, because when I started preparing the budget for my organization, it gave me a ample opportunity. I'm talking about the year 98, 99. Okay, it has given, or 99 also. It has given me ample opportunity to understand whole financial aspect of our companies, because like when you are making the revenue budget and capital budget, okay, it give you a chance to understand how your revenue generation is there, what are the expenses involved with this business, okay, and how to control, how to monitor. So whole, like I keep on preparing the whole financial in advance, okay, and then we try to compare our monthly result, quarterly result vis-a-vis this budget, and we do lot of analysis based on our budgeted data. So that has helped me. And I can say like one or two examples of my own life. Then in the year 2005 or 6, I got an opportunity to work for the commercial department, which is altogether different than finance or costing. Okay, along with my financial work, some of the financial sections is with me, but in addition to that, one employee who left GIPCL, who were working for the commercial department, I got an opportunity to handle his portfolio. Okay, it was very challenging, because in power sector, the commercial department role, dealing with the state utility, dealing with the regulatory department like Gujarat State Regulatory Commission, how to pass our, how to get approve our tariff, then how to prepare the invoice, or even our whole project, like any upcoming project is totally dependent on the tariff of that project. So that whole evaluation, like how to do the project appraisal, this all areas fall under the commercial department. And once I got a chance to work for the commerce department, I found it is more challenging. But my exposure of budget, making budget, has helped me to understand at least 60-70% of the commercial uh, transaction or functioning of the commercial department. So because of that, I mention in my that initial speech also, like never denied for any new assignment if it is enforced on you. Initially you feel like within this limited time, how can I manage this and that, but once you accept the work, you will definitely able to bifurcate your time in such a way, you will definitely manage the show. Okay, so one has to sometimes you need to spend few hours more during your initial assignment time, but over a period of time you will manage within the your routine work routine your work time schedule. Okay, so but when this kind of opportunity or this kind of situation rarely happens or rarely comes in our life, but whenever it comes, try to get try to accept it, try to get the benefit or advantage out of it. And even if you don't get any advantage, you always think like I get something new to learn in my life. So knowledge is always going to help you, and it will helpful in any way in your life. So I personally feel that whenever you work for any organization, you will try to understand or try to accept whatever the work process comes during your tenure in the life. Okay, so these are some of the pros and cons of our public sector organization. But nonetheless, like, it is a challenging career, and one should enjoy whenever they work with such kind of circumstances. Hello. So, like, till now, I try to cover what is the first one decade of our. Hello.
Yes,
So
madam.
after, yes, actually, I got some noise in between, so I take a pause.
Sorry, madam.
It's
Sorry,
okay.
madam. I unmuted.
No, it's okay. So in his up till now, I try to cover the first 10 years of our life. 10 years of our professional career is act as a foundation of any professional field or anything. Like, it is we can say it is a foundation of our journey. Okay, and then another 10 or 5 years of our career life is work work as a I can say, like, it is a transition phase. It work as a blooming ourselves in that organization. Okay, and once you cross this stage 1 and stage 2, then we reach to the some leadership position. The I personally feel like in leadership position, it is very challenging when you work with any or get any PSUs, because in one PSU, since as I mentioned, I think I may have mentioned earlier also, in my company up till now I work with, I think, around 6 or 7 IAS officers. So all IAS officers of my companies, like my first IAS officer, she joined GIPCL in the year 93, and she has taken my she has given me the opportunity to work with GIPCL. So up till now, I work with almost 7 or 8 IAS officers, and every time, whenever you had a new CEO of the company, whole environment gets changed. Okay, so for you, it is a, you can say, it is a zero down over your whole past contribution, because you are new for the new person. Okay, so when you are working at a very senior level, to work with the organizational head to drive the organization vision, organization goal is very, to align yourself with the organization goal is very important. Okay, and for that, like, almost all leadership quality one has to develop. Along with that, we need to manage the all senior or topmost or executive or directors, managing directors, or XYZ, like those who are at very top level. We need to manage them also. So every time their expectation is something different. Every time their expectation is very different. Every person has unique quality. Whenever they come to the organization, they try to change themselves. Whenever they take over the any organization, and since they are IAS officer, they feel they have very much, like, expertise, administrative expertise. So they try to implement their ideas, their thought process, and means it's really very challenging environment. Okay, So for PSUs or employee who are working with PSUs at very senior level, for them it is a very challenging job, because we have our own organization vision, but it keeps on changing depending upon the change of your CEOs, change of your managing director. So at leadership role, for us, we have to run the show. We need to manage our organization task. We need to manage our departmental official. We need to motivate them, take the task from them. At the same time, like our role is like, it is a very, I can say it is a sandwich types role. Okay, we get some task or some vision from our higher ups. At the same time, our middle management or even junior level team, they are not that much, sometimes they are not that much cooperative because of the change in environment. So at that time it is difficult for the leaders. But as I said, like when you are very strong at your foundation level, at your middle level career, you will definitely try to give justice to your role at leadership also, because you have grown up in that organization from junior to senior level. So your every stage of learning will help you to manage the so. And for senior executive, it is really think for the progress, your vision to the organization, or whole your organizational development is totally dependent on your leadership, on your leadership role. And being a CMA, we always have to give our input with respect to the financial progress, financial decision making, or like many time it happens like at senior level, many various our technical project leader or technical team, they come up with various kind of new project. Okay, because their role is to bring the project. And when we try to give, or our team try to do the evaluation, they find that this project is not suitable or not viable to our organization. Okay, so whenever if you really think for the organization, and if you give your correct input with respect to that project, nobody ready to listen your genuine ideas, genuine views, decisions. Okay, so at that time it becomes very crucial for even to convince your managing director, to convince your technical people. Here as a finance people, it is very challenging task, because every managing director or every technical head, they always want companies to perform, companies to progress in various eras. Okay, and at the same time they expect financial stability from the finance leader. Okay, but if your project is not viable, if your project is not feasible, how can it gives the financial stability to the organization? So this is very, I can say like uh, hard fact, which we need to convey to the management. We need to fight with the technical head. Then we need to convince our managing director, like in this project, and there is a various way and means like how to balance. Okay, we cannot simply or say or bluntly say this is not workable project. We have to make our own strategy, how to deny, how to say no for that project. Okay, and even how to convince our technical head. Otherwise it gives a negative sign for the finance leader also. Like everything, for everything they have some issues, for everything they are not allowing us to grow. So our role is very our role should be very balanced. We should align ourselves with the organization vision, but at the same time we have to take care of whole financial stability of the organization. One should not give their green signal till the time they are convinced with its a futuristic projection and market whole market competitive environment, market survey, everything. In spite of our technical head who is the leader of that project, they themselves definitely do all the analysis, but as a finance head we should ensure, because ultimately I can say the treasury play a very important role. We are the treasurer of that organization. If our single wrong decision will vanish whole organization. Okay, so sometimes in some of the organization it is happening, like people keep on telling yes on their senior executive decision or vision, and at last it happened like such a many big companies, they are went into the liquidation because of somewhere something wrong has happened. No doubt it's not only the blame of only finance people or technical people, but yes, I personally feel if you have, or if our all senior executive has done the thorough analysis, that situation may not arise. Okay, so every now and then we see various big corporate, they went into the liquidation, and they have seen a huge failure in their organizational progress. But somewhere these are the fact which one has to keep in mind, because in organization I have seen many times it happen, people try to please the top executive, and because of that they are not giving the correct guidance, they are not giving or not highlighting the weak area of that decision, or weak areas of anything which we are planning, like any kind of progress or even existing. If we are managing the show, it is our duty, or it is the duty of finance head to guide management with all insight of the organization, insight of our even technical and financial matter. And that is why SEBI has made even managing director, finance head, and company secretary as a key managerial person who is more responsible than our technical head. Okay, so the whole, why I am emphasizing on this era, because this, as a finance head, our role as a finance people, our role is very crucial for the growth of organization. So whenever we take any kind of decision, or the leadership, the role is very crucial for every leader, whether they are a technical leader or finance leader. But finance has given more statutory compliance, more compliance with respect to the protect our investor money, with respect to protect our even employees salary also. Okay, so finance role is very crucial, and we as a CMA, our role is basically to analyze the each and every project, even financial evaluation, costing. So our analytical ideas, analytical views, analytical thought process always help to progress, always help to contribute the organization growth. So whenever we work as a finance head, as a finance person, we should always think, always analyze the situation, always give our input. Nowadays, what happened, like because of very good ERP system, now the accounting or routine check making and all other routine matter is not at all our baby. Okay, that system itself is doing. Many organizations, they have everything on digital platform, even coming invoice, sending invoice, making payment, passing entry, everything. It is happening on single fingertips or single command on acceptance of the transaction. Okay, so for routine matters, earlier we need to spend huge time. Now that time is not required. Now our focus is shift from the routine accounting entry to analyzing the financial transaction. Okay, so it is a role of finance manager to analyze. Even you can make your P&L and balance sheet, or you can analyze your daily product costing based on the sound or effective ERP system. Okay, so as the time has changed, we also need to change our thought process. Now we should not stick to our old procedure or old evaluation pattern or old that departmental functioning. Okay, we have to change ourselves with respect to change in time. So now our focus is shift from the routine accounting to analyzing the transaction, giving our input for the decision making, so that it will helpful to the organization. Even it gives us a self satisfaction, like I have highlighted this thing, I have given my input to take this kind of decision, and that is your timely input will definitely help the organization to take some concrete decision. So with change in time, I personally feel one should uh, start thinking in line with the current environment or the fast growing uh, requirement of our companies. So the role and responsibility of CMA is very important while taking any kind of organizational decision. And as we discuss this three stages of our career growth, like career span, like initial stage of 10 years, then 15 to 25 as a mid career, and then strategic leadership after 20-25 years of the career. Being a state PSU, like it's very difficult to reach the leadership position. One can reach that position after spending 25-30 years of our life is 25-30 years of our lifespan in the same organization. So every stage is very crucial, very important for all of us. And as a CMA, as a finance profession, our role and responsibility is very important. So one has to be very alert and attentive while giving their input with respect to the any kind of financial happening in the organization. And if it is related to the project financing, project funding, then also we should be very focused on our projection, on our financial modeling. And as a CMA, I can say, like, we are very dynamic, we are very good in Excel, we are having very sound analytical approach or attitude, and our contribution is definitely recognized by the organization. So we should work more on this area. Okay, and not only project financing, we should also think of the capital market also, like how to get funding, how to get cheaper money to the organization. So because nowadays it is more of like, whenever you want to execute any project, the financing play a very important role. And since we are observing nowadays the IPO, debt finance, international funding, everything is having its own pros, cons, or its own advantage to the organization. So looking to the strength of organization, we should guide management to get the cheaper fund from the market, also cheaper fund from the various or areas, various avenues available in the on the globe. Okay, so now it is not a restrictive market. We can very well get the external commerce borrowing. We can get the borrowing from our Indian market also. So all this kind of input by our finance professional will definitely help the organization and definitely help the organization, and it will show or demonstrate our contribution to the organization. So this is all about what I learned or what I observed during my career with the organization. And there are many more experience which definitely there to share with you, but since there is a limitation of time, so with this, like, at least I can say my experience. I try to share few of my experience with working as a state PSU. And as I earlier mentioned, the working with state PSU has several benefits. Out of that, the most important benefit is the job security. Like till the time you are honest, you are doing your work diligently, nobody is going to touch you. And as I mentioned earlier, like, there is no motivational factors. So growth and your all, like, organization growth in organizational hierarchy, as well as even in your financial front, everything is structured. So you will not find very wide progress in your life, but no doubt it is a balance. So we are happy and satisfied. At least I am happy and satisfied. Okay. And with because of this state PSU working style, I can have the work-life balance. I can give more focus to my professional as well as personal lifestyle. So these are the some of the positive positive things of working with state PSU. At the same time, as we discuss, like, there are our top executive, they are bureaucrats. They keep on changing depending upon the government orders. There are a lot of political influence. So it's very difficult to work under the political influence. Okay. And sometimes their influence leads us to favor someone, leads us to take some wrong decision also, and we need to justify it. So these are something which is happening with the state PSU. No doubt nowadays there are a lot of governance is there. Then digitalization is there. So that has helped to reduce their interference, but still it is there. So we need to know how to manage this kind of challenges while working with the state PSU. So in PSU, like, as I mentioned, there are several challenges, but the true leader is those who have that capability, who has that ability to manage everything and keep organization work keep on going. Okay. So organization need to progress with while managing all these challenges, while working with all these challenges. Okay. So, and likewise, like, many, you can see nowadays, we almost all PSU, state PSU, central PSU, they are performing well, they are doing good, and they are working, not, they are not a new state PSU. Like in my community is almost around more than 40 years old. Okay. And likewise, there are several state PSU, central PSU, which is working for more than 5 decades, 7 decades or so. Okay, so in spite of all these challenges, but since they have some structured system, okay, so once we keep on following that system, the show must go on, things are there and it is going on. Okay, so everything has its own pros and cons, but still we are happy. And nowadays, because of the digitalization, because of the government e-governance or several other monitoring and governance, the PSU is also performing good. They are also committed. Their performance is also monitored and observed by the, if it is a state PSU, by the chief minister or advisor to chief minister. If it is a central PSU, then at central level. So they are also equally accountable. It's not like that, okay, you are working in a state PSU and if you are not doing anything, you will be allowed or tolerated. Okay, so we as a state PSU, the leaders are always under the tremendous pressure from the state department, from the department under whom we are working. So nowadays, like even you see the example of PSU bank or any government department, the officer or the leaders, they are always under the tremendous pressure, and they try to perform under all these existing challenges, which is not so easy, but still they are performing and system is there. So we keep on working and it is definitely helping us. So in PSU, we have our own system and procedure how to execute the work, but at the same time, your own personal input, knowledge, style of working, or good ideas, thought process, that will definitely help to perform organization much better. So now my advice to young CMAs are that, like earlier the days were different. Okay, whatever the academic knowledge we gain during our professional uh, course, that will at least suffice our requirement for few years. But now every now and then there is a change in regulation, there is a change in act, there is a change in process. Every now and then something new areas are coming up. So one has to update their knowledge along with the new technological development or new compliances which is taking place. Then only uh, you can make your presence feel in the organization. You can sustain yourself in this competitive world. So, and I personally tell you, like since I was a CMA of 1992, at that time, like only single professional qualification has sufficed the requirement. Okay, it has been recognized by the organization. But nowadays, in this competitive era, only simply CMS certification is not sufficient. If you are a CMA, try to add some more professional degrees to make yourself more marketable. Okay, so and not only, I'm not telling only professional degree, but for your own growth, for your own upliftment, it is better to even our institute give various certification course like valuation, financial modeling, and there are so many diploma courses or certification courses going on. So we should try to engage ourselves, we should try to enroll ourselves to get more and more technical knowledge or professional knowledge even from our institute also. So it is very important for our young generation to stay updated with all recent happening, mainly in the field of ESG, finance, technology, like as I mentioned, capital market and so Even nowadays, AI play a very important role. So to get any kind of input or knowledge, means speed functioning of any areas, we can take the help of AI. They try to give some input about whatever the project, whatever the financing tools, and several things which we need in our day-to-day life. So this is my suggestion to all our young CMA. Try to keep updated with all the latest happening, and that will definitely help you to perform better and achieve your goal in your life goal. Okay, as I discussed earlier, like now the role of professional has changed. Earlier we invest our most of the time while jumbling ourselves with the paper. Okay, we try to do everything, all analysis and everything on paper. We keep on maintaining huge record, physical record. But now the time has changed. Now the ERP has taken a place of our woman involvement, where earlier we keep on working. So now our role is basically to the taking analysis, doing strategic business decision, getting involved ourselves with the analyzing the data. So now our role is more focused on data analysis, business decision making, giving our input for futuristic business, keeping in mind our futuristic business, even corporate governance, compliances. So these are our role nowadays. It's quite exhaustive. So one has to think with respect to our futuristic goal and current scenario, current time requirement. Okay, so now the earlier days has gone. So nowadays it is very much important to keep aligned with the current technological upgradation as well as the business requirement. For leadership, I personally feel like one should keep updating their knowledge while attending good leadership program by the various top management institute like IIM, XLRI, that will help us to develop our networking. When we are interacting with good leader who are in this kind of programs or seminar, it will give us a different thought process, like how to visualize how the same things are visualized by the different leaders, how they try to resolve the situation. So while doing this kind, while attending such a good seminar organized by top management institute, it gives us a immense input related to the current market happening or leadership qualities. And when we interact with the various leader, we will try to get something, we try to learn something new from them, some good qualities which others are having. So this kind of program is very important for the person who are working at very senior level. So I think with this, like we can conclude the session. And so as I mentioned earlier, and quite several times, like if you really want to perform, want to grow in the organization, you should be ready with be ready to accept all kind of change scenario in the organization, and adaptability of the situation play a very important role to in your career excellence. So one has to be change or align themselves with the change in situation. And here the your flexibility in thought, your attitude play a very important role. So I can say, like, whatever today I am here, I am as a Kiran Mishra, I am very happy and satisfied. And in my whole career, in my whole life, the CMA, being a CMA, being a member of CMA fraternity, it plays a very important role to reach me up to this level, even at my professional front, even at my personal front, even in my society respect, everywhere. So I give a immense respect and that to our profession. Like whatever today I am and many of us is basically because of this CMA, because as a CMA professional, so CMA has that kind of that expertise, that kind of inner capability, who can prove themselves under any kind of any situation, whether it is a comfort zone or whether it is a challenging time. Okay, and their knowledge, analytical approach is always welcome by the society, by the organization. The thing is that we should feel proud of our profession, as well as we should keep ourselves updated with the current scenario, current happening. So that's all from my side. If anyone has anything, you are free to ask me, or you are free to share with me. I am here for another 5-10 minutes. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation, madam. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Thanks, ma'am, for your presentation. It was a mixture of your personal experience as well as official experience. It was so nice and was presented in a very, very, what do you call, lucid style. And you explain the things which you are facing every day, ladies are facing every day. The eye opener for persons who are attending, for lady CMAs already. But everyone don't have the opportunity to work in finance department, madam. Because that's a problem. Because I work in a TVS company, but I don't have opportunity to work in finance department. Only in costing. If you work in finance only, you can learn more. That's my experience, sir. Personal feeling, man. That's the thing.
Correct, sir. Actually, costing is a very limited field. Like if we merge cost with finance, it expand our whole exposure, as well as means knowledge gaining also. Like costing, I can say it is very good, means as a cost accountant, or costing is having the important field with respect to the manufacturing sector, like pharma, then engineering company, and so. But if your companies take input from you while taking the decision making, like taking a various kind of managerial decision, then it's okay. But the combination of cost and finance makes our actually scope quite wider, and we can very well at that time we can give our input, and we also feel satisfied. Fortunately, I got that opportunity, because I started my career as a finance, then I shifted to the commerce. Along with commerce, I tell you, like I was very fortunate. Like I have handled the corporate taxation, in spite of we have 2-3 chartered accountant with me. Then also my senior has given me a chance to work for corporate taxation. And initially, I find it very difficult, because I was not that much good for with in corporate taxation. Okay, but then later on, I started involving myself on the all income tax proviso, and then tax audit, filing of return, even dealing with the CIT or ITAT level. Okay, so and while interacting with our chartered accountant, form sometimes I find, but since I have a clarity of my clarity with respect to my business, so I can try to give very good input how to defend or how to make our case very sound. But this everything happened because I have a good I got an opportunity to work for both costing in my company. Costing play a very little role. Okay, the statutory compliance, more it is of a financial role only.
Thank you, ma'am, for your second.
Right.
Keep going,
So,
ma'am. Keep going, ma'am.
thank you, sir. So, sir, since how long you are working with that costing department?
30 years, madam. 30 years in costing department.
Oh, now it's too late. Otherwise, like if you are a young professional, then you should try. One should try to switch over from the costing to finance, finance to costing, or try to take like advantage for both the department or both the section. Yes.
Practicing cost account, madam. I have retirement. I have started practice.
Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Anyone have any question with respect to today's session? I think let us conclude the session.
If any other questions? Madam, we will wait for 2-3 minutes. If there is
Okay.
no other questions, then we will conclude the session. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Please share the presentation material. If possible.
Okay, sure. Actually, I made a very small and simple presentation. I just wanted to cover all my life learning. I just wanted to share my own journey with you people. So I have covered only few points which help me to talk. Okay, so but I don't mind. I will share whatever I have just shown.
All bullet points, madam. All bullet points. Every point has got an elaborate answer.
Thank you. I will share with WIRC. They will in turn share with all the participants. Okay.
Madam, shall we conclude the session if there is no other questions?
Sure. Okay. I will share the PPT
Yes.
through WhatsApp. You could then in turn share those who have attended.
Yes, madam. On behalf of the Western India Regional Council and the Professional Development Committee and Task Force of Women Empowerment, the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Kiran madam for the wonderful sessions in the Navratri series webinar. Thank you everyone for participating and thank you madam. Now we will officially conclude this session. Happy
Okay.
Navratri to all. Thank you ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes.
See you.
Okay.